Hello, Brickster bots. My name is Jack, and I have been a dungeon master since 2017, and I've been using Lego as a medium for my games for even longer than that. Today's short topic is on over encumbrance. Today's video is also going to be a little different. I'm probably not going to be using a script all that much this time, uh, just because I want it to be a little more intimate of a video here with you guys. In my RPG games, I never use encumbrance at all, really. I mostly run games for newer players, and just getting them to remember their character sheet and the rules is an uphill battle. And nothing against my newer friends, my newer players who play with me. I love them, but if I was to add encumbrance to this, it would be a little too much. Um, the rules for it are pretty frustrating. Having to take note of all of the different weights for everything and your strength and how much you can hold and whatnot. I just don't really do it. It's just part of those rules that I just kind of skip entirely. I have to track so many different things in my games that I would just completely forget to tell my players the weight of certain items. And I just don't do it. I have asked my players on a couple occasions, how are you holding that? So, for example, I had a player, my friend Mauricio, who's playing as a very weak wizard, of course, and he finds this 6-foot long adamantine rod, and he's doing his magic on it. And I'm like, okay, how are you holding that? And he goes, oh, right. And he asks the barbarian to go ahead and hold it for him. So that's kind of the extent of my over encumbrance rules. If you are looking for a good video on encumbrance and holding on to items, Seth Skorkowski did a really good video a couple years back about how he makes these sheets that are backpack sheets, and he gives them all to his players, and basically whatever they find in the game, they have to somehow put it into this backpack by drawing it into the backpack. So he's got like bandoliers, he's got little pockets, and little spots where you can put like rope and whatnot. And so I'll put a link in the description of this video for that video by Seth Skorkowski. If you haven't seen any of his videos, he's really fun, and I like him. He usually does Call of Cthulhu stuff, but he does a lot of D&D stuff as well. But when it comes to encumbrance in D&D, no one wants to keep track of that. No one does. And no one wants to be encumbered in real life too. And this isn't overpacking. I'm not talking about, packing 10 pairs of underwear for your 3-day trip in case you poop your pants 10 times during your trip. No, it's more about life and the baggage that you hold on to. I'm going to be honest again. I have baggage. Every one of us has baggage. And I'll use one example here. There was this girl in high school that I kind of dated, and I messed up. I was partially to blame with how it ended. Partially. But I held on to that for years. This constant, like, what if kept coming up just in my mind. And so much time was wasted from that. I didn't think that I could do any better when it came to a relationship. I thought that I kind of peaked with my dating life back in high school. I eventually just kept lowering my standards over the years. And it just became really pathetic. Practically begging women for intimacy, or being so afraid of intimacy that I never actually do anything with it. And then eventually, coming to a point where the first girl who actually wanted to be with me, of course I rolled with that. I stayed in that relationship for years, and I was unhappy. We all hold on to these things, and it all affects us in different ways. And I'm no different. I don't want to come at you guys and try to hold myself to a higher standard than everyone else, or put myself on a pedestal. No, I'm just as messed up as everyone else. But I'm working on it. Earlier, I was thinking about this video, and I was like, well, I'm trying to be better. And I was watching Empire Strikes Back the other night, and of course, there's that part where Luke is on Dagobah, and he's trying to lift the X-Wing out of the swampy water. And, he says, well, I'll try to do it. And Yoda's like, do or do not. There is no try. And I am doing to get better. I am working on it. And it's a process. It's not something that happens overnight. And it's hard. We can't expect things to happen that quick. Especially when it's something that's ingrained in you for years. And I've dealt with a lot of social anxiety through a lot of my life. And it's sad the amount of wasted time I've spent with that. And I'm just done. I don't want to worry anymore. I don't want to get stuck in these thoughts of how people think of me, and if people like me, or people dislike me. I'm tired of it. I don't want to keep doing it anymore. I don't want to get stuck in those thought processes anymore. These ruts that I get into. I think I spoke on that in the last video. These thought ruts that I get into, where I have to jerk my brain back out of these things. And it takes time to get to a place where you have to be okay with jerking the car out of the way and getting out of this thought situation. Regret has a lot to do with it, for sure. There's a lot of things that I regret but trying to make my peace with them, especially in the last couple months. Trying to forgive myself, asking God for forgiveness, and eventually asking the people that I've hurt for forgiveness. And I'm not excited about that. Who is? Who wants to come up to someone and be like, call them after years and say, yeah, I was a jerk to you back then. I'm sorry. I don't want to do that. But I know I have to. I want to make my own thoughts right. Anyways, we just have to work on ourselves. No one wants to carry baggage around into our new friendships or our games. That's another thing that I'll get into on a later date, is using Dungeons and Dragons as personal therapy sessions. I don't think that the game is made for that, unless your DM is a therapist. I don't think that that's a good idea. But anyways, that's probably all I have to say for this episode. If you like these videos, go ahead and like and subscribe. Appease the eldritch algorithm gods. Go ahead and comment what you think about Encumbrance and how it affects your games or how it's affected your life. We're all trying here. So let's build something cool together, guys. Building a new life. If you want to also watch what I'm doing over here with my big old mess of minis, I've been in a bit of a creative mood these past couple days. I got some terrain here. Been making them very holographic, these statues. It's been fun. If you want to watch that, I do that on Wednesdays from 12 Pacific Standard Time to 3:34. Depends on how bad my neck feels. Moving around like a goblin here, trying to paint for you guys. So yeah, come on over and say hi. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Bye.